Welcome back, everyone. I am Gamer Pyle, and I will be your host today. We're gonna play some RimWorld. I've got my Star Trek Command insignia pillow. I've got myself something to drink. I have my microphone and my headphones, and most importantly, my mouse and computer. And most importantly, I've got you. So thank you so much for being here. We are going to start a new game today. This is actually my favorite part of this game and Dwarf Fortress. I like it because you arrive with nothing and you have to make something. And so let's get started right away. So I'm going to be using Edby's Prepare Carefully. It allows me to make changes and edits to some of the things later on. We'll go over that in a minute. The scenarios you can choose from include Crash Landed. That's what we'll do today. You get 3 people chosen from 8. You start with these things here, these items, and those are somewhere on the map. There's Lost Tribe. This one's hard. You have no technology, so you're fighting with spears and bows and arrows, and that's it. You do get 5 people to start with, though, which is kind of nice. Rich Explorer and Naked Brutality are hard. This one is the most difficult because you arrive naked, you only have 1 colonist. At least with this one, you end up starting with a lot of very high quality items, which is what you want. Then, like I said last time, if you checked out my video, and by the way, make sure you do, we talk about the mods there. We have the Twi'lek slaves and Zabrak tribe scenarios. Those are both added by the mods that add those races as playable characters. So we're going to start here. You'll notice that there's a Crash Landed. There's a scenario editor button. We can randomize the seed. I'm not going to worry about that today. But first thing we have to do is we have to choose an AI storyteller. And I told you that Tynan Sylvester wrote this game because he wanted it to be a procedurally created story. Some stories will end happily, some will end fast. We're going to try not to be fast, but these are the modes by which the story is told. In other words, they're the computer's difficulty. There's Cassandra Classic. She makes things more difficult on a little bit of a curve as you get further and further into the game. There's Phoebe Chillax. I enjoy playing on this because I really like building a peaceful community with a cool fort. That's kind of what I like to do, but we're not doing that today. Today, we're going to play on Randy Random. Randy gives, Randy takes away. That's what the subreddit says anyways. We're going to put this on Adventure Story, and I'm going to have it set to reload anytime mode. The purpose for this, I don't plan on cheating, but the purpose for this is that I want to make sure that me being new to streaming and making gaming videos, I want to make sure that I don't make a mistake and then something happens with the content and you're stuck wondering, well, how did we get from having 3 people and no fort to having 6 ginormous houses that they all live in? So I don't want that to be a problem. So I'll be able to go back and replay something if I need to, but only for the purposes of you. So there's merciless mode. We're not going to do that. That turns up the difficulty level, shall we say. It's appropriately named. Let's just put it that way. All right, we go here. Worlds are created procedurally based on the characters in the seed. So we can click any of these seeds and there's a bunch of them. So I actually like long words. So I'm going to wait until I get, cauliflower. That sounds fun. Global coverage is good to know about. So the world's always the same size, but the landmass that's created doesn't take up the whole entire planet. For the most part, they're like Pangea-styled continents. And this button determines how much of the land is covered, how much of the world, the planet is covered. We're going to keep it at 30%. I don't think we're going to need anything bigger than that. And these, of course, self-explanatory: rainfall, temperature, population. That's fine with me. So I'm going to actually generate the cauliflower world. You'll see my mod list down here. my official content, and boom, here we have our world. So the world is always the same size, but you can see only 30% of it is actually populated here with landmass. There is a North Pole, and wow, there is one group up there. The faction that they belong to is the Irarar Covenant on Tobam Island. I want to go to Tobam Island. Okay, so Ingrid's Mistake Jungle, Rakago Mountains, Bitagakum Grove, all sorts of cool little things here, and you can kind of tell what's going on just by looking at the color of the tiles. They're hex tiles for here, so we zoom way in, and you can see we've got these hex tiles, the tropical rainforest, it's mountainous. This gives us the coordinates of that. So when you go home and play this yourself, you're going to type in cauliflower for the random seed, and it will generate this as long as you have 30%. Then you can actually find the exact tile that I'm on, even though we're on different iterations of the game. You'll find the tile that I'm on if you want to play and show me how awesome you can build and how much better it is than mine. Okay, all these icons here represent the different factions. So here they are right here. So there's Aruya, East Aituya, the Irarar Covenant, Confederacy of Roga, Coalition of Dorgua, a savage tribe, that's no bueno. The Shotgun Bats, they're pirate, they will always be hostile toward you. And then there is a Twi'lek Sigaton Treaty and the Born Kin League of Zabrak Empire. They are also populating the map. They start off as friendly or neutral toward the friendly side until you do things to make them happier or angrier. Okay, you can see here there's a little bit neutral. This also shows who they're the enemy of, whom they are the enemy of. And here we go. We have 4 neutral and 4 hostile groups. So when we pick a spot, we don't want to be in the middle of dark blue, green, or red. Those are bad. We want to be looking for purple, yellow, or these 2 Star Wars-y symbols. So let's see. Personally, I like having a growing season that's pretty long. So I'm going to look toward the middle section of the planet. But I also don't like heat waves. They're harder to control for than cold snaps are. Although during cold snaps, you lose your crops. So it's kind of a 6 of one, half dozen of the other. I don't know which one I want to do. I always like mountains, though, because they're easier to defend from, and they typically have more resources there. So, and then I like to find a nice temperate forest. So I'm looking here. I can see average temperatures, 25.7 Celsius. So 18 to 34 is the range. That's a pretty good range. It's probably going to get down below 0 in the winter, and it's probably going to get pretty warm in the summer. So as I'm looking around in this general area, I can see there's a lot that's going for me. Was it purple? Blue is bad. Blue is bad. Hey, they start with the same letter. That's easy to remember. Okay, red is bad. Of course, it is nice being near him, the enemies, just because it means that you can have some things to fight. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to actually make this more crowded. I'm going to set it right there, and then I'll generate it again. Ah, that looks much better. See, this is such a huge world. Even if I went there, you see how tiny that tile is, barely noticeable. It's only a couple pixels wide. If I go out there in the middle of nowhere, I don't even have anyone near me, so it's going to be hard for me to trade. Now I'm noticing there's a clump of good over here. I see a clump over here. That's warm. Oh, 30 degrees. I don't like being quite so warm, although it is a year-round growing cycle. Okay, so I'm looking around. I see 11. That's a little too cold for me. This might be good. They're hostile, 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 hostile. There's a lot of hostiles there. Yowzers. Purple's good. This is good. And I see a road there. So what if we do something in this general area? I see some rivers going through. I see some roads. That'll make it easier for my caravans to go back and forth. Ooh, what's this here? There's lots of 14. That's kind of chilly. I think I'm going to try this. I want to find a mountain that's near a road. So I think I'm going to go... Now this is impassable, so I'm not going to be able to choose a site here. And if I get too close to another faction's town that angers them, they'll consider it to be like, you know, crossing the lines of their country with your army or something like that. So that's not a very good idea. Oh, how about over here? I got a couple people that I can attack. I have a couple people I can trade with. It's in a nice zone. It's got roads, rivers, and mountains. I'm gonna go, and it's a tropical. Oh, it's a rainforest. I don't really want to deal with malaria, so let's go back up here. What's this? Yeah, that might work. That's right on a road, so that's nice. I don't have to worry about water in this game, unlike Dwarf Fortress. You don't have to worry about people drinking stuff. But if I go right here, I've got mountains, I've got forest. I think that's going to do it. So I'm going to click next and see if it gives me any warnings. Nope. Ah, excellent. So here you can see this is our characters. I'm going to go to prepare carefully. It gives you the 3 people that you just had before. So if you look here, Squint, Casey, and Nails. And then these 5 down here. Now, to give you a brief overview of what this is all about, their age is here, but because of the relativistic attributes of space travel, they actually have been around for 65, say, Earth years, but they only look 26, and they're only at 26 years old. These attributes give a little bit of personality to them. For example, Sickly Child means that their melee and construction are at -2, social -2 because they didn't have anyone to play with, but their medical is +5 and intellectual is +4 because they spent all their time reading and learning about their disease. But I really don't want a cannibal in my group, personally. But they're pretty. They also have nothing for shooting and melee. Now that's pretty bad for when you're starting out. You want to have at least something here. And then over here in health, you can see that this person, Casey, has a go juice addiction, 12%. Now, I'm not going to be able to make go juice, which is one of the drugs that you can fabricate or trade for. So I don't think I'm going to want to choose Casey. And then Nails, the paramedic, 11 with a passion, an interest in that, also artistry and plants. Careful shooter means they take a little bit longer, but they'll be a little bit more accurate. Jealous can be rough. That gives them a mood penalty if they don't have the best stuff. So just be aware of that. Okay, so we've got Kenzo. Oh, lots of stuff here. Oh, Gigolo, lovely. But he's incapable of dumb labor and skilled labor, and he's violent. So you can see that there's a lot of good and bad here. Xenophobe. Interesting. I've not seen that before. So that must be if I have Twi'leks or Zabraks in my community, they're not gonna get along with Narda very well. Friedman, Carson, and Alden. So you can see some of their traits here are actually interesting. You can see some of their backgrounds, health. Their heart has artery blockage, so they're probably more susceptible to heart attacks. But all these are over 10. Those are some great scores and a wide variety of scores. What I'm going to do, though, because I have Ed B's prepare carefully down at the bottom, I'm going to click that, and I am going to load a preset. I've taken a lot of the work out just so that I can have this a little bit more telescoped for you. You can set all of their backstory, all of their age, their appearance, the skin color, the hair color and design. You can discuss their health, give them traits, and you can also mess around with their skills. I I created these four along with their relationships. So somewhere in the world is this woman named Hazelnut. She will be 29 years old to start, and she and Noah are lovers. Kelly and James are lovers. James and Seedlings are ex-lovers. And then my four colonists are going to be lovers as well. All of these may show up at some point, which is kind of cool. Oh, yes. And I decided, I was just messing around with this. I thought, well, wouldn't it be interesting if Demon and Turbo Laser were siblings? So they are actually siblings, and any children that they have or they have will be related to the other group, which is kind of neat. It makes it a little bit more story driven. Equipment. You can see the things that you start with. I did not mess with these at all, with the exception that I added a female and male Arctic fox. I don't know why that snow hair's on there, but maybe I'll be able to eat it if I need to. Yum. Hassenpfeffer soup is so good. So there's a wide variety of resources here. There's food, weapons, apparel, medical, furniture, animals. So there's a lot of stuff that you can put in here. I'm going to keep it where it is because I don't want it to be too overpowered. And the only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to re-roll the names because I'm already playing a game with these names and I don't want to do that anymore. So we have Newbie, Kazni, Giza, and Tiubo. That's a fun word. Okay, so I think we're going to be all set. You can mess around with this all you want. I mean, you can spend hours doing this. And then there are, I should also mention that there are 8 characters in the world that we may see as we play. They can come into our game or through traders or travelers or people. I've even had, let's see, I was playing a game and a rival faction attacked me. And the mother of 2 of my colonists was in the raiding party. So they attacked, and I was fortunately able to wound but not kill her. I nursed her back to health, and I convinced her to join, and then one of the sons died, and she went crazy and destroyed everything, and that was pretty much the end of that game. But it was fun while it lasted. Okay, let's get going! Are you sure they're finished? Yes! And here we go. All right, so we're going to generate the map. It's going to take a little bit of time to do that because this is the first time the game's ever loaded it. It's probably putting it up into my RAM. Empire mod updated. Excellent. They do that automatically. That's one of the things I loved about this, is that all of these updates for all of these mods also update as the developer updates them. So you don't have to worry about going in individually, resetting all of them or updating them every single time RimWorld has an update, which it did last week. So the 3 of you awake in your crypt asleep sarcophagi. There's 4 of us. That's why I was tripping over my words. I was trying to think of that. There's something wrong with this sentence. To the sound of sirens and ripping metal, you barely get to the escape pods before the ship is torn apart. Sometime later, you land on this unknown RimWorld. As pieces of the shredded starship fall around you, you start making plans to survive. All right, and we're going to pause immediately. So here we can see there are 4 shadows. Those are my drop pods. They're going to come out of space. Oh, you can see some right there. There's 2 of them. 1, 2, 3. I don't know where the other one is. It's probably there, and I'm just blind. This is our map. Now I've set the map to be a fairly large size because I have a computer that can handle it. This gives me more resources, and I'm looking at this, and man, this is great. This is going to be a lot of fun for me. So I can set up, let me get rid of this little bouncing ball. I can set up like right here. And there's this nice natural cave walls. They can't get really in to attack me if I just build a simple wall right here, and another north one at the top. I've created these choke points. Well, I didn't. I will have created these choke points. I can later expand. I can have this be a nice looking little base over here. I actually may choose that one right now instead. Even though I have a lot more wall to build, I have this zone right here. Oh, that's mud. I thought that was fertile soil. Never mind. And then this bit up here, which has rich soil. So maybe I will choose this northern one here. Okay, cool. So there's a road going through. You can see how that was generated by the game. That's the road that we settled on. These mountains are the ones we settled on. I can see we've got some chunks of stuff over here. We've got limestone, a whole lot of limestone. I'm just looking for resources right now, see what we all have. There's a lot of trees. That's good because I do a lot of building with trees, especially in the early game. Wood can be dangerous because you'll have fires, but that means that you'll just replace them later when you need to. But it's much faster to build with wood, and at the beginning you need that because the second you land, your items are deteriorating because they're unroofed and outdoors. And that can be a problem with your wood right here at 28 of 150. Steel doesn't deteriorate, of course, nor should it. Silver won't either. So you can see that there's some things here like compacted machinery. This will give me these items components which once mined, you can use them to build stuff. Electronics specifically, that looks like some gold. Oh, that's nice. That's going to bring great wealth and prestige as we start to enter the mid-game. Lots of animals. This is great for hunting. I like hunting. I like raising animals as well. They're good for meat in a pinch. They're good. Donkeys, for example, can carry items when you go make a caravan on the world map. And I can see some steel here. Lots of little resources around. Compacted machinery, a wooden wall. So this is probably part of that mod that I was telling you about with Real Ruins. So you can see that there is a part here of someone else from a long time ago. Nice granite wall. That'll be easy to deconstruct if I want to use some granite blocks to build something. Oh, look at this. Sandstone wall. The way this is shaped, this makes me think this may be an ancient danger. We'll learn about that later. A lot of steel there, some silver ore. That's great, because that's the main currency when you're trading. You can barter, and any items that you trade have an intrinsic value, but that's weighed in silver. I shouldn't say weighed. It's measured in silver. It still is unclear, but this is the currency that it's used against. More compacted machinery. So we should be good to build all of our stuff here. I'm also looking, the only thing that I don't like about this location is that I only have one steam geyser. Well, there's two more there. That's so far from this, though. Oh, what to do? Decisions! If I go down here, I have this great steam geyser, but I don't have any fertile soil. There's a little tiny bit right there. But, oh, there's a bear. I'm going to have to take care of that bear before it hunts my animals. Cougar, same thing here. Alright, let's check out the wildlife. So grizzly bear, a cougar, a timber wolf, a red fox. These things will all hunt. You see this predator symbol. These things will all hunt your unprotected animals as well as any wild animals like these donkeys. These donkeys are, you can tell that these are wild because they are orange or bronze or brown or whatever you want to call that color. My wife says I'm colorblind. There's your timber wolf. But the good thing about these, normally, especially in the early game, I just kill them, hunt them, so that I can use the meat and they don't take my animals or hunt my people, because they will hunt your people if they get hungry enough to. Usually in the early game I do that, but in the mid game I start to train them. I like to tame them, and then you can actually tame them to attack or defend your colonists, attack enemy, and that can save your life if you need to get away if your colonist is injured. Tiubo. Tiubo. That sounds fun. Okay. Well, I don't really like either of these decisions perfectly. I have a feeling what I'm going to do is I'm going to eventually expand down to here. But I want to start up here because I need food. And food grows fastest in fertile soil. Let's find exactly. So we have some of these layers over here. I'm going to click this one. It's a fertility overlay. You can see the green, this rich green is fertile soil. That's where things will grow the best. The yellow, they'll grow the worst. If there's no color at all, then it won't grow. And regular green is just normal. So you can see, I can't move the mouse over, but in the bottom left-hand corner, you can see fertility 100%. When we go to rich soil, it's 140%. So it grows 40% faster in this green. And when you're struggling to survive, that 40% can make a big difference. It's almost 1.5 times as fast. So if it takes 10 in-game days to grow a crop, here it will only take 6. I think that math is right. Okay, I think I'm going to do that then. We've got a nice defensible area, and I think this is where I'm going to make my main home, right here. Let's take that off, and let's watch them land. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so now my colonists are moving around. I'm a pauser. I tend to prefer, this is why you listen to the channels, because I mess up words. I tend to prefer turn-based strategies like Civ or Galactic Civilizations 2 or something like that over real-time strategies like I played when I was a younger man, like Warcraft and Starcraft, because my reaction time is slowing down. So I'll pause the game a lot when I am playing. It also helped me to do some multitasking. Okay, so first things first, let's build some stuff. I need to chop down some trees. Okay, boomalopes. If you attack those, they explode, so be careful. They can start ginormous fires. All right, so the first thing I want to do, I'm going to make a stockpile. And that storage stockpile is going to be where my pawns will dump all of my stuff. I can set what's in there by clicking it, click storage, and then you can see here everything is selected except chunks and corpses, except for mechanoid corpses. I'm going to keep it that way, except that I don't want anything rotten in there because that's just going to make people angry. I can expand the zone by clicking this, and I can contour it to a place. I can shrink the zone if I don't like it going on to, say, the dirt, but I am going to keep it right about where I had it there. And that's going to be a good start. But everything you saw is actually forbidden right now. So this little red X here means that it's forbidden. No one will touch it until you tell them that they can. So I'm going to double click so that it selects all of them on the map. I'm going to allow it. Just like that. We've got some wood. I can click F to do the same thing. I've got some armor. I've got some silver. I've got some steel. I've got some components. I want to make sure all this stuff is transportable. The next thing I'm going to do, I do have some armaments here, so I'm going to use these. So I have shooters. I can go to bio on one of these. Go to Tiobo first. Shooting 6. Shooting 4, shooting 7, so they're probably going to get one of the weapons, and 4. So I'm going to give Kazni the bolt action rifle because that's a further away weapon. It takes a little bit more skill to fire it. Boom. I'm going to give Tiubo, though, who has the second best shooting skill, this revolver. It doesn't have as big a range, but that's going to be okay. Medicine. Okay. We will do that. Here I'm going to have her put these on. Wow, what's this? Where'd that come from? Well, I guess we're going to give that to somebody. They both have 4s, so why don't we just have it be Lex? Whoa, now she's got 2. Where did it come from? And a revolver. What? This is my lucky day. Well, newbie has nothing. So I think we're going to start with that. Why don't we drop this submachine gun? And I'm going to have newbie come and equip it. After that, we will give... She's okay. So what I've done here is I've also put on some protection for them, some body armor. So she's wearing a flak vest right now. She'll be wearing a flak pants in just a moment. So since she's going to be doing some close-in warfare, I'm going to give her the helmet as well, and this as a sidearm. It's a plasteel knife. Plasteel is a pretty strong ingredient in this game, so it'll be good to give her a little something that she can use in case she doesn't escape fast enough. Okay, so you can see they're moving things automatically. I didn't have to tell them to do that individually. I just said, hey, this is a stockpile. Put stuff there. But it's still deteriorating. So I need to build some walls or something like that. And that is done from the structure button. So before they get too far away, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And I'll go to there. So I have all of these set as walls. What they'll do next is especially my constructor, who is, let's figure this out so that we can... Okay, so Tiubo, I gotta practice that. Tiubo is my constructor, so I'm gonna actually change it. So when I said that the job and bar mod is helpful, this is why. Because I don't know these characters very well, so I don't know what their strengths are without looking. So she's really high in construction and mining. She's got some social skills, but that's not necessary now. So if I go clicked on rename colonist, I can change her name. But I don't want to do that because I like her name, Tiubo. It's fun to say. Don't knock it till you try it. So instead what I'm going to do, because I don't need her to be a mercenary, I'm going to put down construct and mine. Now when I click OK, that changes the yellow lettering under her name, and I can just look at a glance and know what I want her to do. Lex, you know what? I'm going to change that. Because she's really strong in planting, I'm going to call her Leeks. That's how I'm pronouncing this word. So, Leeks, the planter. We have Kasni and Lace. They're going to be my cook, I would say. They've got a burning passion for that, so that's great. And 12, crafting, that's also really good to know, because later on, things that can be crafted, then you can sell them, and that ends up being very lucrative. It also does wonders for your if you put say a sculpture in a room, as long as the sculpture is good sculpture, it's going to really make a huge boon for the colonists whenever they're in that room, especially if it's their personal here we go, especially it's their personal bedroom. And the only other thing we need here is a door, so I'm going to set that up. Here comes Tubo. Now the next thing I'm going to do, I need more food. So I'm looking here, I've got some blueberries. We're going to harvest all blueberries. And it doesn't look like any of them are ready for harvesting right this second. But I still need them. So I'm going to actually harvest them now. And that's going to be fine. There's more down here. I will harvest those. What else we got? A clump of them over here. Which... that one we can harvest, 96% grown, it says here. Okay, nice. That's going to give me some good food. Oh, what's this? Slate wall and a door, just a random door. Oh, I want to know what's behind that. What's this? What's this? All right, cool. So you can see, oh, and you'll also notice that she is putting a roof over these. Like I said, it's unroofed and outdoors, so it's going to deteriorate. But this here now, she's closing this room in, and now it has no penalty here. It's not gonna deteriorate over time. It's 150 out of 150. It's gonna stay there, which is great. That's what you want. The next thing we need, though, because now it's 9 o'clock in the morning, we go to our needs. You can see that there is a rest need, recreation, food. Right now everybody's good, but all that's going to go away by the end of the day. So it's 9 o'clock in the morning. I actually have it set to 24-hour time, so that's why you'll see that. So I need to start thinking about beds. Where are they going to sleep? Well, they don't like sleeping outside, and they don't like sleeping on the floor, so I have to figure out something. Let's get some more of these here chopped. Anything over, say, 75%, I'm probably going to chop. I'm using the keystroke B, but if you need to, you can use the button there. That's good, that's good. The more grown they are, the more wood they'll give you when you chop them. And that's why I'm trying to keep it just to the big trees. 97, that's great. Okay, so this will give me a lot more wood, just that little bit. And because of that, and since food's not a huge supply problem right now, I'm going to go ahead and deselect from... Let's do those ones. We'll cancel those. So now they won't harvest these blueberries, and hopefully they'll get to work on these trees. Now, one thing you can do, you can go to the architect, go to structure, click on wooden wall, but if you have one already, you can build a copy. I love that keystroke, it's O. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to use this area back here. I can't do really anything with it because it's a stone floor, so I can't grow anything there. It's kind of just a waste of space. So I'm going to use that, and I'm going to make some rooms. So I think my first room is going to go right here. I don't want them to build it yet. So let's see, that's a room. We'll make a common area like this, I think. Yeah, I have a hard time figuring that out. I'm good at this. It's a good thing you're watching a stream of somebody teach you how to play a game that they can't do it. Okay, that should be good. Let's do that right there. And now we've got the start of several rooms. I'm going to build another door here, 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 here. Oh, and you know, they're all married, or at least they're in relationships with each other. So I don't need to make 4 rooms. These 2 rooms are going to be sufficient for now. This one here and this one here. This is going to be a common area room. I'm going to use this. I'm going to put a table in here for them to eat at, table and chairs. I'm going to put some rec room games. For example, we go down here to recreation. Let's put a horseshoe pin in. That's the easiest thing to do. So why don't I do that first? I'll put it right there. All right, cancel that. That doesn't need it either. All right. So we're cutting the trees. I think we're going to need some more lumber. So let me prepare some more trees to be cut. When they get around to it, they'll get around to it. You can't really tell them what to do, but you can kind of guide them where you would like them to go next. And then they set priorities. There's more to it than that. In a future video, I'm going to talk about getting your colonists to do just what you want them to do. But for today, this is good. So here we go. Now I'm going to build furniture, a double bed. I'm going to put the first double bed, let's put you right there. Second double bed, let's put you right there. And then I'm going to actually start to clear out these rooms a little bit. Yeah, you know what? Better not. And now they're going to get to work. So I need to start thinking about the upcoming summer and winter. So it's April, May. There are 4 seasons, and they're each 2 months or so long. And so it's spring right now. It's the 6th of April, May, and 5500. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon now. It's clear outside, thank goodness, because if it were raining, everybody would be angry. And you can see Newbie is building that roof. So we're going to have a couple of good beds here. I want Tiyubu to focus on the beds, though, because she's my strongest constructor. So she's got a 9 in construction, a burning passion. So she has the best chance of getting a high quality bid. Oh, hey, come back. In case you're wondering, I'm using WASD as my controls for getting around the screen to scroll. Roof, roof. Now, because this is inside now, this is my courtyard, I guess you could say, I'm going to have to do a couple things. Number one, I don't think that I'm going to be able to build... Where are you going? Oh, you're building the bed. Okay, fine, you're allowed, you're allowed. But I think that this is going to be too far away from a wall for them to build a roof and have it be safe. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to build a pillar. Go back to structure, got a column, and I'm going to put it... Let's put it right there. Then they kind of have a straight shot to each of these rooms without being too much of a problem, but they can still play... Oh, you know what? I don't want to put it right there because it's going to interfere with horseshoes. You can see that Kazni here is playing horseshoes really poorly if that's his shot. 1, 2, is diagonal. Why is... He's bad. He should feel bad. Man. I even play horseshoes better than that. I play video games. Alright, well I guess I can give him a little leeway today. I mean, he did literally just crash on a planet after waking up from crypto sleep. Okay, fine, I'll give you today. Just today, though. Alright, so let's... One of the jokes about this game is how much everyone... Oh, why did I thought that was the... I thought that was a horseshoe pin I put over by the wall. That's not going to help them build a roof at all. Although, she's doing a pretty good job. I don't know that I even need one. Alright. You go, girl. You prove me wrong. Look at that engineering skill. Are we going to go in there and do that too? I'm just curious. So it's already 5 o'clock. Now that this is open, or closed off, I'm actually going to deconstruct this wall so I can put a door in there so they don't have to go outside in order to get to the storage area and back. Oh, we might have some baby Arctic foxes. That's going to be great. I can either train them up or I can... Oh, good. Now build a door. I can either train them up or I can sell them. There's a lot of different traders will buy your animals from you after you've domesticated them. And I like doing that. I think that's a great way to make a little bit cash, especially in the early game, is breed fast breeding animals. Alpacas breed non-stop. So they're great for getting, you get your 20 or so that you want for their wool and for their ability to carry things. But then after that, why did you stop? After that, they're just there to make you money. Okay. We're going to need some light in here. Nobody likes being in the dark. We don't have any power. No power. I could build a generator, but I think we're going to hold off on that. I just want to get everything done fast. So if I go over here, I need to go to... Boop, boop, boop. It's not temperature. Oh, goodness. Furniture. Yeah, I'm smarter than I look. You can't see me, so you don't know if I'm lying or not. Alright, so I'm going to build a torch lamp. We're going to put one right outside here, so that kind of lights both doors. They won't be quite so angry. We're going to put one right in the middle of this room. And we'll put one right in the middle of this room. We are going to want one in each bedroom. So we'll kind of put them in the corners like that. And that will... I'm going to tell her to prioritize to do that. If I hold shift and then click, it queues orders. And you can see that there's queued hauling wood to torch lamp blueprint. But we do need a table. There's a running joke in this game that people need a table for some bizarre reason in order to eat. You crash land, and then you, like, your first thing is you're going to flip out and have a psychotic break because you don't have a table to eat at. And newbie is not very good at building, so I'm going to force Tiubo to build it instead. These are quality items, just like the beds. This bed is normal. This bed is also normal. So the table here, so this is a good table, and Tiubo's higher skill at building is going to help out with that. So now she's building some stools. They're fast. They don't take as much wood as a full chair does. I'll switch them out later. I'll probably actually use wool or cloth later on. And now that this is all going on, I'm going to start with 2 growing areas. My first, actually, well, I'm going to do 2 for now. So my first one, growing zone, go up to zone, like my stockpile. My first growing zone, I'm going to throw it right, let's find that growing zone thing. That layer. Okay, I'm gonna put it just like this, just like that. But I am going to get rid of this one, and then, oh, she's already grown or planting stuff. So potatoes grow better on these lower quality tiles. Because the boost that you get from having high quality soil doesn't really affect potatoes. So I can grow potatoes here close to my fort where I can defend it a little bit more easily, and that's not going to be a real big problem. But I don't really want it in these yellow areas, so I'm actually going to get rid of that. Am I? I could keep it. Maybe I will keep it. So I'm going to keep those there. Plus she's already started, and I don't want to make her angry. So, leeks. Alright, Tiubo has built a normal, a good, and another good stool, and a good table. So now they can eat. Okay, these 2 are the ones that are... Okay, good. Yeah, they're related. So then this bed is going to be for Kasni and Newbie. And right now, their schedule is set so that at 10 o'clock at night, they will sleep, and they'll sleep until about 6, or whenever they are no longer tired. The quality of the bed will help them get untired faster. So, this has been my first day with this new crew. Seems like we've got a pretty good start going over here. We've got a little home already. We have a couple of rooms we can expand to, and we get new colonists. We have some refining we can do on the actual rooms themselves. We have a stockpile. We have a growing zone. I did say I was going to make another one, so why don't I do that? Get that overlay. And we're going to put it just like this and this. But this one I am going to truncate. So when I go back here, shrink the zone. I really don't want all this other slow grow stuff. So I'm going to take a few seconds and just get rid of all that. That is a legit machine sound. Okay, now what can we grow here? We can grow a lot of things. It's early in the season, but we don't have anything going here. So I'm going to choose rice. Grows very fast. Corn takes a lot longer, but it gives a better amount of nutrition than rice does. So, but it's so early, I don't have any other way to get food, so I'm going to start with rice. Rice, this is going to grow really fast, which is great. Normally, it grows in 9 days. But this is, because it's on 140% soil, it's going to grow very fast. You see the fertility sensitivity, that's the soil thing. Potatoes are only 40%, so that's not going to be affected very well by soil quality. So let's grow some rice. We'll have that all set, and then that should be good. All right, that is the end of the first day. Everybody's asleep, and I think that's a good time for us. So, thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to save this so that it's ready to go tomorrow. Ooh, what should we call it? You can see this is my other game that I've been playing. I've been playing for a while. I showed a little bit of a blurb for that last video. Hey, look, 2 plugs for last video in 1 video. That's probably breaking a rule. So what are we going to call this? Let's call this gamer game. Well, let's just call it gamer pile. It's going to be a pain in the butt to keep typing. So gamer pile 001. First save. Thanks for joining me today. I hope that I'll see you next time. And if you do get this game, then by all means tell me in the comments, how's it going? How long have you been playing? And you know what? You should load your screenshots and send them to me. You can email me realgamerpile@gmail.com, or you can check out my all of my Twitter, social media pages. They're all going to be in the comments, or in the description, I should say. And I will see you next time. Peace.